Hey, what's up guys, it is TBM TCG and we are back again doing some more card fight, but this time around instead of doing a cheap deck profile, what we're doing is my actual main deck profile, which is Spike Brothers. Now this is to do with the GBT 13, so post that, so everything that's in the Ultimate Stride has been, well, part of it's been added to the deck, but other than that, what we'll do is we'll have a breakdown of what's actually in the deck. You can pretty much copy this deck profile if needs be, because it's not too bad. It has won a few games in the past. So let me start off with my grade zeros. Grade zeros are 4 of the Mecha Trainers. See, this is always going to be my starter Vanguard, due to the fact that its abilities are quite good. When you counterblast one and you retire this unit, you get to search your deck for a grade 1 or less. So usually with what you used to do, you still do it now as well, is if you're trying to turbo, like usual with Spike Brothers, you would search for your heal triggers, because doing like the whole G guards and all that sort of stuff will help out with the GB8 when it comes to it. But this is definitely something to start off with. I usually play 3, but I think this time around with the new stuff, I'll put 4 in instead. Next up, we play with 5 draws. So I've got 1, 2 of the Dandy Register and 3 of the Mecha Advisor. I like to make sure that I've got enough cards in my hand, due to the fact that sometimes when you do some of the combos, you can reach your hand quite quickly. So having these 5 draw triggers on top of, like, in your deck as well is actually quite beneficial. After that, I run 3 of the Silence Joker crit triggers. So you put this into your soul. Choose a card from your damage zone and turn it face up, so it's quite good because you'll be counterblasting a lot in this deck. And I've also running another 4 crits, which is the Liar Lips. So I'll show you what it does. You put it into soul. When your Vanguard attacks, if it's got Rise in its name, pay the cost, draw a card, choose one Vanguard, it gets 5k. So another good card. I always try and run as many crits as possible. I mean, I could, if anything, take out more draws and put more crits in, but I think the 7-to-5 ratio between the two is not bad. Now, this is the first of the new cards. I actually play 4 of the Dudley Cheers Lindsay. So basically, when you use this to G guard, if you got one already in the drop zone and this one, you pay the cost. So you'd bind this. So if that was already in there and in drop zone, and you use that to G guard, you bind these 2 into your bind zone, and you get to counterblast 1 and soul charge 1 as well. So good little addition card. Definitely helps out with the counterblasting. But that is all of my grade zeros. I then run 4 PGs. People do run different PGs, but I tend to go with Untouchable Millie, due to the fact that she can actually bounce back into your hand at GB1. But I'll show you the bottom bit. When each unit attack hits a Vanguard, if it's charging, pay the cost, and I get to return it to my hand. Next up is 4 of the Acrobat Verdi. So this is just stride fodder. Isn't really much else to do with it. It doesn't really have any abilities, but it's always just good to have 4. And possibly one of the best cards in my deck at grade 1, Frog Raider. This is one of the best cards that I've actually seen in a while. See, when a charge is placed in a rear guard in the same column as this one, due to an effect, if I've got Vanguard with Rise in its name, get to stand this unit. But yeah, I carry 3 of them. Sometimes I juggle 4, but 3 is always good. I then do the Wind Killer Miseries. This is where your combo start to kick off, really. So if you manage to pay the cost and all that sort of stuff, you get to choose a card from the deck, not called Wind Killer, and call it to rear guard. So this is where you can, if anything, combo this off with one of these. Lethal Forwards. I play 3 of these. The reason why you can combo it off, so if you see the with the GB1 skill, so if it's charging, so if you manage to pull off the all the requirements of this, you can then call this, class it as charging, so it gets 2k, and when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if it does hit, if you've got a Rising in its name of one of your Vanguards, choose a card other than Lethal Forward from your deck and call it to open rear. But I carry 3 of them. I also do carry 3 Axe Divers. And again, when it comes to Rising, if you've got a Vanguard, you pay the cost. If you do, choose up to one of your rear guards, bind it face up, call that card from the bind zone to an open rear. So you can pretty much get two attacks out of 1 card pretty much. But it's not too bad of a card. And finally, for my last 2 grade 2, oh no, got a couple more. I just play a couple 10k grade 2s as well. The Treasured Black Panther. It's always fun just to have that. Puts a bit more pressure on, because obviously some of your grade 2s will come over at 9k, but with this, sometimes if your opponent's Vanguard like grade 3 is only 10k, this still can go through, which is not too bad really. Finally, we've got ourselves the Mayhem Tiger. See now, this is another card I like to do with a combo, but basically when your opponent puts a card into G zone during the turn this unit attacked, if the unit is charging, prepare the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's grade 2 or less Guardian and retire it. And then grade 3s, we run 2 of the Rising Novas, of the exceptional expertise ones. I could possibly go with another one, but I actually do only run 6 grade 3s, and with what's been going on with the GBT 13, I think got 4 of these ones. The Giant Rising Great Star, which I feel is a much better card. You get a bit more out of it really. So skills are virtually quite different, but with this you can actually do stuff at rear guard opposed to what the other Rising Nova. But yeah, I prefer this one to the older grade 3, but personal preference really. You could just run 3 of each, or take out a couple grade 2s and then drop another 2 of these. It depends on how you want to feel. As long as your grade 3s pretty much is Rising, you've got nothing to worry about, because this deck really relies on Rising. So that's it for the core of the deck. Next up we've got the grade 4s. So I run 4 of the new Blackhorn King Bull Power Agrius. See, this is a very good combo card. Put something to the bind zone, and then depending on if you put 3 or more to it, you then get to draw a card, choose 2 for your bind for each face-up card in your G zone according to separate zones. So you could literally turbo the hell out of this deck, and then start using these. Continue to flip like his deck, because obviously you got to flip him up when you use one. So when you're at like GB6, and if you drop 3 to the bind zone, you could literally fill your board back up again, which I think is a phenomenal card. But definitely run 4 of these, because you will need to. Next up, I was a bit cautious of what else to do, so I did drop one of these. I now only have 3 of my Great Hero Supernovas, but obviously powers up depending on how many Rising Supernovas you have in the G zone. But I only carry 3 of these. This is another card that I'm sort of toying with, but as my time's working out, it's a Shoot Down King Miracle Ace. Running 2 of these is always good, because obviously when you use one, you got to turn your face one up. But running 2 of these is usually quite generic in Spike Brothers decks. I know some people just use 1 just to flip up, but I use 2 to try and get the most out of him. I then had the GB8, Hellhard 8, which is quite crazy card. But yeah, this is what you got to turbo into. I always run 3 of the Terrible Linus. Obviously, when you do use the Reserve Linus, you obviously get a bit more value out of the card really. But I thought change up a little bit, use a new heal trigger. So I feel like now spikes are getting more dependent on the soul charges and the counter blast. Why not try and add to that? So I run 3 of these. 2 Juggernaut Maximum. These pretty much, along with my only one cheerleader, Airy. Basically these are the ones that I flip up when it comes to using the Terrible Linus, because obviously you've actually got to turn a G Guardian face up. So these are literally just the fodder when it comes to actually using the Terrible Linus. So basically that is the deck. let me know if you actually want to see a video of all the combos that you could do with Spike Brothers. So this is the deck profile of what I carry when I use spikes. It's a lot better deck with the new support. Guys, if you did enjoy this, let me know if you want to see all the combos, and I can show you every single one that you can do. And then also, if you could, generously, please leave a like, subscribe as well, because obviously this helps out a lot with my channel. I've got 40 subscribers at the moment, so I'm still growing a little bit, but I'm thankful for everything. So yeah, so let people know about this channel. Thank you for the support. This is TBM TCG signing out.